friends, this is Miss Janet from the Stowell Library coming to you with Summer Camping 2020 with WSPL. I hope that you are planning a camping trip this summer. Your adventure can be at a campground or even in your backyard. It is awesome and fun. You could set up your tent in your own backyard, sleep out, do some cooking in the backyard, just have fun, especially if you have children. So I hope that you are planning a camping adventure this summer. I am here to give you some ideas just some ideas for your camping kitchen. So I have some of the things that you could take with you, or probably if you were starting to go on canoe trips, you might like some of these supplies because they pack up really handily into a backpack. But if you're just camping in the backyard or at a campground, then you can use a fire pit that's already there and you could camp over that, or you could buy a camp stove. But if you're on a canoe trip, you need something a little bit smaller. So I have here my little cooking device. So it's already attached to my fuel source, and then I could just light this and I could place my pot right on top, and it takes up not very much room. I can take off my lid so that I could be stirring whatever in my pot and cooking away over this simple little device. So this is just one thing you could purchase at a camping store like Mech if you needed to have something that was relatively small, because that would fit anywhere, because this top part, you can take it off and it packs up in a little bag, so it keeps it safe, and you have your fuel source right here. But I was thinking of some tips when you are going to be packing up, things that would take a little bit less room. So I've written them down so I don't forget. One of the ideas is, if you thought tomorrow morning when we're camping, we're going to have scrambled eggs. So instead of taking the eggs in the container and potentially getting broken, and you have to be so careful in a cooler, you could determine ahead of time, I need 6 eggs. That's how many I'm going to scramble. So you could already break them, mix them up however you do. If you add a bit of cream or milk or whatever, put them into a bottle, like a water bottle that you are just going to, recycle. Then it's probably not going to get broken. The eggs are already broken and they're in a bottle, and when you go to cook them, all you have to do is have your griddle hot, pour your eggs right in there, and you can just dispose of that container if that's what you choose. So that's just one idea that you could do. Another idea is, if you were going to have pancakes, it might be a good idea to mix up the batter at home. So you could just quickly do that. You can use a mix if you want, add the liquid ingredients if it takes water or milk and eggs, whatever. Mix it all up at home and then put it into a Ziploc baggie. It could be a bigger bag depending on how much mix you would mix up. And that would be an easy thing to also put into your cooler and bring along. Instead of bringing your box of pancake mix and everything else, you could already have it all pre-mixed, and then you just open up a corner and you can just pour into your pan the amount that you want for each pancake. So those are just a couple of ideas. Another idea is, if you know what spices you want to take, because spices can also take up room, put whatever it is. If you want some garlic salt or you want some chili powder, whatever it is, put some of that into a drinking straw. Make sure you've closed off one end. Put in whatever amount of spices you want and then close off the other end. Maybe you could use some kind of tape. Label it. Put a label on it that this is chili powder. And then when you go to cook, you just have this small little container, a drinking straw with your spices in it. So it saves space, and also nothing can get broken if you've put it into a container such as that. Another idea is, who loves their coffee? I love my coffee. I have to have my coffee. But instead of having to bring along some kind of a coffee maker, you could just get a coffee filter, put in how much coffee you need for 1 cup, and pretend or assume this is going to be the cup I'm going to be using on my camping trip for my coffee. So I know that this would probably take a teaspoon of coffee or whatever. Put it into the coffee filter and then secure that coffee filter tightly so that the coffee grounds cannot get out. An idea is even to use dental floss to secure the coffee filter, and then just pack however many of those for each cup of coffee. And when you go to make your coffee, you just have to boil your water, put your coffee filter right into your mug, pour in the the boiling water, and then you have your coffee just like that. So you don't need a lot of things, and you've already pre-planned, and that is an awesome idea. One of the recipe ideas I saw when I was looking to get different ideas was called a campfire cone. Now, you can't have ice cream cones at your campsite, or I don't think you can. I couldn't because I had a cooler. I couldn't keep ice cream frozen. But a good idea is to purchase some waffle cones and take them with you to your campsite, and then you can fill your cones with something different other than ice cream. So an idea would be to get maybe some chocolate chippets if you like chocolate, maybe some marshmallows, and another idea is to have your fresh fruit chopped up. So maybe you want to chop up some strawberries and kiwi and bananas and put that into your cone. Then wrap up your cone in some foil and you can place it right over your campfire coals, and the marshmallows will melt and the chocolate chippets will melt and everything will just be all gooey and warm, and then you have a campfire cone for a special treat whenever it is that you would like to have that. Another idea is to make some granola bars on ahead, your own homemade, so you know what's in them and you can wrap them up individually. That's something that's easy to transport and it's healthy. It can be as healthy as you make it. So I'm going to post a recipe for some homemade granola bars that you could take with you. But another thing is, if you thought maybe one of your meals you're going to have chili, rather than cooking over your stove at your campsite, you could have made your chili in advance, put it in a container, freeze it, so that when you put it in your cooler, it's acting as a cool thing to keep other things cold, but then it'll gradually defrost. And when you're ready to have it for your meal one night, you have your pot. You can just pour in your defrosted chili and put it over your stove, put it on your stove and heat it up. And there you have chili. It didn't take any time at all because you've done it all in advance. The other idea is when you are camping, you get hungry. Do not forget that. You get so hungry when you're camping. So it's a good idea to make some of your own trail mix before you go. So you can just take some baggies and you know what you like in your trail mix. I just got an example. I thought maybe some raisins would be good in my trail mix, and I like cranberries, so some dried cranberries. So cranberries, raisins. What about some pecans? I love pecans. And what about some sunflower seeds? They're always yummy too. Maybe you even want to put some chocolate chips in, but just remember when it's hot out, these might get melty and make a messy trail mix. Anyway, you can just put scoops right into a baggie. Again, these are so handy. You could make one for each person in your group. If you go for a hike, you just already have your trail mix all ready. You can shake it up because it would then all be mixed up, and it's handy and it's convenient. It can't spill and it's ready to go on the trail with you. You just have to slip it into your backpack or your bag, whatever you're carrying, and there you go, all ready to go. So those are just a few ideas that I've come up with, and I know you have awesome ideas that you will be coming up with too, but I need to show you some of my camping gear. So these things are all ready for a trip if I were going on a canoe trip. So I like a bigger cup. So this is a good cup. You could drink something cold or hot out of here, but it's a good size, or the smaller ones are good too. So depending on what size of drink you wanted to have, you have these options. And here we have some awesome cooking plate or camping plates. They won't break. They're a good size, and also some utensils that will not break. Hopefully they don't get lost. Another good thing when you're camping is to have some form of device that you can hold things together or tie things up. These are just pretty amazing. They're kind of like pipe cleaners, but they're very strong. So I'm sure that if you're going camping, you're going to take lots of rope, and don't forget a tarp, because in case it rains, you need a tarp to cover everything up. Anyway, those are a few tips and tricks for today. I hope you're planning your trip, and I will be back soon with some more ideas. So have an awesome day. Bye for now.